welcome to our stream, everybody. This is Ariel Gatoga, and this is a general reading for all signs for today, the 14th of March, 2023. We are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube are the lovely Dre and the lovely Liari, and on Twitch is the lovely Deline, and I'm sorry if I messed up your name, Liari. You can correct me later. Brand new moderator, so welcome. And thank you to everybody for joining us for this general reading for all signs. I'm reading with the Stone Visconti Tarot. These are very long cards, so they can't be shuffled the way I normally shuffle them. This is a Vervain by Panier d'Essence, and I'm going to use it for purifying today. Let's use 3 sprays in this nice big room. You can do fine with just 1 spray. Like I said, this is a general reading for all signs for today, the 14th of March, 2023. It's going out to everybody, whether you are watching with me live or whether you are watching on a restream. It does end up going out to a lot of people. So if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you personally, just disregard it. Don't force things. It's probably just not meant for you. In that case, you might want to check out the zodiacal readings for your own individual sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. And all of those are available for restream on my YouTube channel and on my Twitch channel. I don't read with card reversals, so if these cards come out upside down, I'm just going to flip them right side up because that's the way I like to read, and I promise it's very valid and there's nothing wrong with that method. So don't worry a thing about it. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can do that by going to paypal.me/ArielGatoga. That's paypal.me/ArielGatoga. If you're watching live on you, oh no, you can't. We don't have super stickers or super chats yet available on YouTube. So the only way to really donate to us is by going to paypal.me/ArielGatoga. And we do appreciate your support. We also have a shop, and that's at arielscornershop.com. arielscornershop.com. We sell all the tarot decks that I read with, plus all kinds of other merchandise there. It's an affiliate store, so we get a small commission off of each and every sale. Now, if you are watching on YouTube, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And if you're watching on Twitch, please make sure you follow us on Twitch. And you can also watch on Twitch without any ads by subscribing to us there. All right, I think this is probably shuffled. Feels pretty mixed up. So let's see what's in the cards for everybody today. Oop, clean cut, nice clean cut. There we go. And we're going to start out with this 2 of Cups, lovely. Ace of Cups, nice. Oh, okay. And then we've got our King of Coins. That's nice. Okay, good. They're always holding some implement, so I'm always thinking it's the swords when I use this deck, but it's not. This is the King of Coins. This is nice. Now, some of you have been really impatient with yourself and have not been the kindest to yourself as you could have been, but it looks like you're getting over that. You're getting off that, and you're accepting yourself, and you're being kind to yourself and loving with yourself. You know, it's so important that we learn how to love ourselves, actively love ourselves. And you think in terms of what is lovable in the world. You know, what do you think is just lovable that you just can't help loving? For me, it's puppies and kitties and stuff like that. And then I realized that the same kind of love is appropriate for me to have for myself. It's not egotistical to have that kind of love for yourself. It's actually very humble because you're recognizing how you were not created by yourself. You were created by infinite love itself. You're a creature of love. And so when our own personality that is kind of entrenched in our egos wants to kind of mess us up, it tries to tell us a story about ourselves that we're not good enough or that we're not lovable. And it really tries to obscure things and really convince us in this false image about ourselves that's not lovable. And the way to cut through that is not by fighting with the ego. Somebody was talking about that on Discord the other day. And I understand there's a whole train of thought out there that you kill the ego. But we're not killing the ego. The ego is just a habit of thought. Okay, so the way we undo a habit is by doing a new habit. The new habit is to love yourself. The new habit is to love yourself. And it looks like many of you are learning how to do that. Now, as you do that, you'll notice that it opens you up to your power, because you are, what did I say? The power of love itself. That's who you are. So when you love yourself, you are simply seeing yourself as you really are, and then accessing your true power, which is, by the way, unlimited. And that includes your power for prosperity, for getting your needs met, for having peace, for having good relationships, for having a good career, blah, 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 right? Out of that self-love, you have to learn how to love yourself as much as the infinite intelligence loves you. Comes very practical benefits. And that's what this King of Coins is talking about. How the more you can love and accept yourself exactly the way you are, the easier it's going to be for you to have all the benefits that you desire. You don't get those benefits by hating yourself or by being impatient with yourself or by pushing yourself beyond your limits. You do it by loving yourself and accepting the help that the universe always gives you. But if you're hating yourself, and a lot of times we don't actually actively hate ourselves, but if you look at the habits that we have, the ways we treat ourselves, it's like, well, I don't know if that you're really loving yourself there. But as you, when you indulge in those kinds of habits, the best thing you can do is have temporary results. I look at some of these very wealthy people that, that are that don't love themselves. And when something happens, something turns wrong in the stock market or anything, they flip out because they don't have a connection to their source. But if those wealthy people that know how to love themselves, they're not worried about the stocks. Yeah, I mean it's worrisome in the moment, but they realize that it's no big deal, that they're going to be taken care of, that the same power that got them where they are now will continue to take care of them in the future, and that as long as they are in connection with that perfect love that created them, they have really nothing to worry about because they're in the flow of their power. Right? And that's how you can be. You can establish that kind of physical prosperity and wealth for yourself through self-love rather than by going out and trying to make things happen and pushing yourself and things like that. Again, it's not that you'll never work hard. Of course you will, but it won't feel like work because you're so inspired. But if somebody was looking at the situation and, they didn't know you, they'd say, whoa, they're a hard worker. But it doesn't seem like it when you're in this place of self-love because you're just doing everything out of the joy of doing it. And so much gets done through you. Look at this beautiful Queen of Cups. This is your decision that this barely fits in the shot. These are such big cards. This Queen of Cups was the decision that you made, many of you, recently, to stop being so impatient with yourself, to stop thinking so poorly about yourself, to actually just open up to the idea and consideration that maybe you are worthwhile, that maybe you are just as good as everybody else, and that nobody's better than you. Right? You're not better than anybody else, but that's fine to know that. But the other flip side of that, a lot of people have trouble with is that nobody else is better than me either. Right? Nobody's better than anybody else. Look at this wonderful card. Now, the old version of this card looks rather violent, and this is that where a lot of people probably feel about, like disciplining their ego or whatever. It's really not so much about disciplining the ego. When you look at the strength card in other decks, it's not so much that she's beating the poor ego up, it's that she's turning and facing it and sending love to it. And when you send love to something, when you send love, and that's what this is perfect love. When you send perfect love to anything, it has to transform. And that includes your own ego. Again, you don't have to indulge it. You don't have to be, you don't have to indulge in those ego thoughts, but you don't have to hate them. Because hating them is just what they do. Hate comes from the ego, because hatred is a type of separation. So if you want to nullify your ego, you learn how to love yourself, no matter what's going on. You love all parts of yourself. This here is talking about keeping your focus and your vigilance, being vigilant about that self-love, because you're going to see practical like I told you before, you're going to see practical results out of that. A lot of times people don't equate self-love with prosperity. They don't equate self-love with wealth. But that's the only real way to have long-lasting wealth. Like we said earlier, I mean, some people can finagle themselves and push themselves into a lot of money, but that's not wealth if you're always afraid of losing it. Or if when something changes in your circumstance, then your happiness is destroyed. That's not wealth. That's just a lot of money. Wealth is the ability to know that there's an unlimited supply, and that no matter what seems to be going on around you, you have nothing to worry about. And the reason why is because you are completely connected to this infinite supply through the power of what? Love. Right? Look at this infinite supply. It never runs dry. It's the source of your heartbeat. It's the source of everybody's heartbeat. It's the source of the sun. It's the source of the planets. It's the source of the stars. It's the source of everything in the visible universe. Are we back? Okay, there we go. And just like when all of the stars, all of the plants, all of the ocean, everything in the universe is unlimited, and there's so much abundance. There's nothing that's separating you from that same abundance in your own life, but you must find it through love. This is what this reading is talking about. Self-love. We talk about self-care. Self-care is normal when you love yourself. You don't have to think about, how do I take care of myself? It's just spontaneous. Everything is real obvious for you, right? Just like you don't have to worry about, taking care of the puppy. It's just normal. Of course you're going to feed it. Of course you're going to take care of it. You're going to learn all about puppies because you love it so much. The same thing with yourself. You don't have to learn techniques in self-care. They just become self-evident to you because you love yourself just as much as you love the puppy or you love the kitty or whatever it is that you love, right? So out of that comes all of this prosperity and wealth. Now, this strength card, I think, is a really good one for many of you today because it's learning how to deal with fear in a way that's very powerful. And what you can do is listen to that meditation that I have on the strength card called Transforming Fears, Problems, and Worries, because if you can direct that love straight at anything, no matter what it is, you're not running away from the problem, you're not letting yourself get freaked out by anything, you're turning and facing it and just directing that pure love at it and just having all compassion for everything, it transforms itself in front of your eye. This image is not a very accurate one because it looks like it's hitting the animal, and it's actually the opposite of what we're doing. We're disciplining ourselves through compassion, through love, and we're allowing that love to do it for us without us having to come up with ideas about, well, now how do I take care of myself? You'll know how to take care of yourself because it's self-evident. You'll know how to get the money that you need because it will be self-evident. You'll know how to do all of the things that you need to do because it will be self-evident. And so no more are you going to be pushing yourself or thinking ill about yourself or, thinking that you're not good enough and what's wrong with me and how come I'm not farther along. Instead, you're going to realize that you are just as lovable and wonderful as anything else in the world. You're doing great. I'm really, really happy to see this. And I can't wait to see all of that hear all of the stories about that wonderful prosperity that comes. All right, I'll be back for another general reading tomorrow. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Dre, Liari, and Daleen. And we will see everybody very soon tomorrow. Blessed be.